Hey, good evening and welcome to the Hawarden, Iowa City Council meeting on Wednesday, February 26, 2020 at 5:30 p.m. Honored to say all present here. Welcome back, Tim. We're glad to have you here. And Jen, thanks so much for making yourself available at the last meeting on teleconferences. We have a number of public hearings. You have an opportunity to speak at those. I'm hoping you all have agendas there at the back door. Standard agenda item number 1A is approval of the February 12, 2020 City Council meeting minutes. You've had those in your packet since Friday. Is there a motion for the approval?
So moved.
It's been moved by John. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Jen. All in favor then of the February 12, 2020 City Council meeting minutes, say aye.
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 Those opposed? Those pass 5-0. Next, we have claims for payment for today. I'll start to my left with Rob for questions.
No questions.
Okay, Jen, any questions?
No questions.
John?
None, thank you.
Travis?
None, thanks.
Tim?
No. So moved.
There's been a motion by Tim. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Travis. All in favor then of the February 26 claims for payment, say aye.
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 Those opposed? That again passes 5-0, Jacob. Open business from the community? Okay. We'll visit with you later in regards to something else. Mayor's report for tonight. There is an opportunity for all of us to hear from State Senator Randy Feenstra and State Representative Skylar Wheeler at an open forum on Friday, March the 6th at noon at the Pizza Ranch. These forums are important to hear about what is going on at the state capitol. We thank them for being with us on that Friday. We want to congratulate the West Sioux wrestlers and the team for their great success this past season, both as a team and as individual wrestlers. It was an awesome season, and we want to thank them for their dedication and for the good sportsmanship that they always displayed. Our West Sioux boys basketball team will be playing at the sub-state game this Saturday. For those that cannot make the game, it'll be streamed on our local channel. Our thanks to the sponsors for making that possible. We wish for the boys success and to continue the great season they are having. We also want to thank all of the coaches and volunteers who work so hard in bringing success to our school athletics. Their commitment to our youth is invaluable in building both successful teams and great individuals who learn the value of hard work, teamwork, and build lifelong friendships through athletics. If you get the opportunity, please give them your thanks also. And lastly, we want to congratulate Lester Jansen on being named the Citizen of the Year by the Hawarden Chamber of Commerce. Lester, like many in our community, gives countless hours in volunteering. Our thanks to Lester for being a great volunteer for Calliope Village. Next, we'll move to staff reports, and we'll start with Jacob, please.
Just been busy finishing up our audit from last year, so they will hopefully be able to present with us very soon, and also getting the state budget form ready to turn in later next month.
Okay, thank you. Travis?
Monday I attended U.S. Army Corps of Engineers flood training in Omaha. They discussed changes to our levee sponsor program, which is our levee along the Dry Creek south of town. This includes inspection plans and inspections, plans, and an upcoming webinar. They also discussed the possible flooding in the Missouri River Basin, which includes the Big Sioux River. They noted that the snowpack in northern Big Sioux watershed is above normal, soil moisture is above normal, the river flow is above normal. The frost levels were the only thing that were below normal. So using these conditions, they've determined that there's a 57% chance that the river will reach a major flood stage this spring, and that's at 27 feet. Historically, we have a 35% chance every year of reaching that, so it's not that it's going to happen, but there's a better chance this year that it will. So I'm not trying to scare anyone, but I just want everybody to be aware that there is a higher chance this spring, and that city staff will continue to monitor the river levels, and then with the spring rains, that is always what usually pushes us over. So,
Okay, thanks for being on top of that. Mike DeBryan, please.
We're currently working with ACO Systems to design, have engineered, and then the plans approved by the Iowa Department of Public Health for the sand filters for the swimming pool. Once they get those approved, it's a 16 to 20 week lag time to have the filters built, so we're looking at fall before they can be installed. They will not be done before we open in the spring. And with the pool, most of our pool personnel are going to be back, and the summer rec personnel will be back as well. So Jalen Blankenship will be our pool manager again this year, and Jesse Strong will be in charge of the summer rec program. Both worked out really well last year, so we're glad to have them back.
Yeah, we sure are. That's great for continuity, isn't it?
Yes.
That's a great thing. Larry Cope, please.
Been busy with clients primarily the past couple of weeks. Also attended the Hawarden Development Meeting on the 19th and the Appealing Downtown Committee on the 21st. Each one of those have projects going, so we're assisting where we can. Also attended the reopening of the TV and appliance shop under the new ownership, and we're also doing some research of some banners and their costs with some local committees. Our local committee, and we're also going to be preparing a grant for that. These will be banners that we're looking for downtown. Continued our work on the Census Bureau and making sure that our local citizens know about the census coming up. We're a little bit over 30 days away, and we're just reiterating how important it is that everyone participate in the census. And then conducted an interview with the local newspaper. It was in our area newspaper about a week and a half ago. It'll be in the local paper tomorrow morning. We've also updated the city's revolving loan fund application, the tax abatement application, and the building permit application, making them fillable PDFs and trying to kind of update those to workable electronic files rather than just printed files that we print out for individuals. And then I've been working with the Chamber Director on some different ideas of different partnerships and stuff like that that we can work together on. So,
Great, thank you. And we can't emphasize, like you said, how important the census is to our community.
yeah, it's very, very important.
To every community, so thank you. Corey?
You can definitely tell spring's in the air because we're starting to get nuisance abatement calls already, so we're gearing up and ready for that. It's kind of nice to have the snow gone, but with that, we are starting to see some issues already. The other thing I'm happy to report is we're working on getting a new squad car here come July, and as we anticipated, going to the pickups versus the SUVs. I think the last SUV we traded in was a 2-year-old Tahoe, and we got $16,000 out of it for a trade-in, and the first quote we have for the pickup is $20,000, so we can see a $4,000 increase just in trade-in value. So just working on that, trying to get everything up to date, and other than that, everything's going good.
Could you explain? I thought we just bought 2 pickups, didn't we? Are we?
Yeah.
Why
So
are we changing?
every 2 years, we trade out vehicles. We have one vehicle that's a primary vehicle that gets driven all the time. We had 3 or 4 engines put in that one Tahoe. Three engines.
I know why we bought 2,
Right.
but I didn't know we'd need one already.
Yeah, we trade them off every 2 years because it'll have about 110,000 miles on it. The primary vehicle and anything pretty much after that, you'd hardly get anything for it for trade-in. So we keep one good, so then the one that has 20,000 miles on it will now become the primary one. They'll drive that for 2 years, and then it just alternates every 2 years. That's how it's been going since before I got here.
It's been a quick 2 years.
Yeah,
That's what it's been.
Flies and you're having fun.
it's true.
Mr. Pickner, are you having fun?
Oh, yeah, I'm always having fun. I don't have anything to report.
Well, we won't talk about your fun then, thanks.
You wouldn't want to hear it.
We have time.
Yeah.
Anything from council members? We will move on then to other agenda items. Agenda item number 3 is a resolution 2020-08, adoption of the fiscal year 2021 maximum budget. We did this, and then the state informed us that we needed to include not only the levy amount, maximum levy amount, but the maximum financial or money amount.
The maximum dollar amount as well. First, when they came out, we kind of used their form and had the levy amount. And then they sent out a notice that said you got to put in the actual dollars as well. Any communities already had their public hearing, don't need to redo it, you just need to redo the resolution, so.
Which stated is $802,052.
Yes.
Okay. Is there a motion for Resolution 2020-08?
So moved.
Moved by Travis. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Tim. Questions? Roll call vote, please, for Resolution 2020-08.
Clucky,
Aye.
Bergsma,
Aye.
Feldhacker,
Aye.
Olson,
Aye.
and Kurth.
Aye.
On a 5-0 roll call vote, Resolution 2020-08 passes. That'll be good unless the state tells us something different next time. Agenda item number 4. This would be a public hearing on the proposed amendment to the Hawarden City zoning ordinances, rezoning the former Old Soup Motel property from a B1 neighborhood business district to an R2 medium density residential. The Planning and Zoning Board brought their recommendations to the council. I will now open the public hearing in that regard. Any comments in regards to the zoning change? You heard anything?
There have been, I did have one phone call, and they wanted to know if their taxes were going up, and I said no, and they said then we're good. So, other than that, there hasn't been anything.
Okay. Anyone else wish to make comment? I will close the public hearing, which leads us to the ordinance 720 of changing the, from a B1 to an R2. Is there a motion for ordinance number 720?
So moved.
Moved by John. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Rob. Roll call vote, please, for ordinance number 720.
Clucky,
Aye.
Olson,
Aye.
Feldhacker,
Aye.
Bergsma,
Aye.
Kurth.
Aye.
On a 5-0 roll call vote, the first reading ordinance 720 passes. Along with that, on agenda number 5, there is an east to west alleyway right in the middle of that parcel. I understand that the city's no utilities or anything that we need that for.
Correct. It's just a alley that was in there years and years ago when they plotted it. It's not needed.
Okay. At this point, I will open the public hearing on the proposal to vacate that alleyway. Any comments in regards to vacation of that alleyway sent to the city?
None.
Okay. Anyone wish to give us any direction in that regard? Council? Okay. Hearing nothing, I'm going to close the public hearing, which then moves us to the resolution number 2020-09, proposing to vacate the east-west alley between the lots 12 and 13, block 19, all of that. Is there a motion for resolution number 2020-09?
So moved.
Moved by Jen. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by John. A roll call vote, please, for resolution number 2020-09.
Kurth,
Aye.
Clucky,
Aye.
Olson,
Aye.
Bergsma,
Aye.
Feldhacker.
Aye.
On a 5-0 roll call vote, resolution number 2020-09 passes. That leads us to agenda item number 6. This would be a public hearing regarding the final disposition of the public real property 725 Central, also known as the Old City Hall. At this time, I will open the public hearing. Would anyone like to address the council?
It'll be kind of slow. My name is David Pusey, President of the Hawarden Historical Society. I am reading this on behalf of the Society. Selling Old City Hall, which is owned by the city, is endorsed by the Hawarden Historical Society. The Society's main objective has always been to save and restore the old City Hall. This we have done with donations, local funding, and many grants. It is time for the next step, putting the building back to use in the community. We think the asking price of $25,000 is a fair price with the condition that additional funding will be invested to complete the project in the time frame as agreed upon with the city. The whole purpose of saving this historic treasure was to put it back on the tax rolls and having a business paying the utilities and upkeep. This is a win-win for both the society and the community. Without your support, we would not have been able to save Old City Hall, but now is the time to move on and hopefully watch the building survive another 100 years. We thank the city for their support in this effort. Ideally, another major purpose of our preservation of Old City Hall, besides saving the building, was to have a place to display the Stuart Flynn World War II collection. We hope the city will continue to support us in our effort to find a location for this extensive and valuable piece of history. Thank you for considering this request.
Thank you, David.
Yes.
Are there other comments to be made during the public hearing? I would just like, as the mayor, to thank the Historical Society for their generosity and all the work that they did to preserve that building. I've been in this seat a long time, and I'm really anxious for that building to be put to good use, but your folks' efforts were very well needed in maintaining the structure and integrity of the building. Also, everything you do at Calliope Village is very valuable to our community, so thank you very much. I will then close the public hearing unless there is other comments sent to you, Mike.
None.
Okay. We'll close the public hearing, which then moves us to Resolution 2020-10, authorizing the final disposition of real estate, also known as the Old City Hall. Is there a motion for Resolution 2020-10?
So moved.
Been moved by Tim. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Travis. A roll call vote, please, for Resolution 2020-10.
Phil Dacker.
Aye.
Bergsma.
Aye.
Clunky.
Aye.
Kurth.
Aye.
Olson.
Aye.
On a 5-0 roll call vote, Resolution 2020-10 passes. We look forward to a great use for that building. The information I have from that gentleman that wrote me about 15 years ago when we tried to give it away and he wanted to start that
New
political party.
Yes.
I'll have to write him back and say it's not a possibility.
Good idea. Or bad idea.
I'm pushing for pickleball upstairs.
You're on tape. There you go.
See why I keep my mouth shut.
This then moves us to agenda item number 7. This is a public hearing on proposed plans and specifications for the City Hall pavement replacement and work incidental thereof. Do you want to give an overview of that plan for those folks that might not know, please?
Yeah, over the last year, I would say we've been looking at repaving the parking lot out here through the use of the sponsored project by the State Revolving Loan Fund. Since we were doing the wastewater plant, we have an opportunity to get a grant of up to $320,000 to go into that parking lot. And so our goal was to do pavers and some concrete on the lower end covered by the grant, and we would have to cover the rest of the concrete. This public hearing has to do with the rest of the concrete and not the paver portion. We'll bring that forward at the next meeting, but we do have the bids on that too, and they've all come in favorably. So this one, what we're doing is, it's required when you do bidding, you have to approve the cost of construction, the form of contract, things like that. The form of contract is basically when they're done, we pay them, unless you're going to make payments to somebody. So that's what this is for, is the concrete portion of the parking lot. and then we'll bring back the other part next meeting.
That being said, I'll open the public hearing and the proposed plans for that replacement work and concrete work. Any comments sent to the city?
No.
Anyone wish to address the council with that public hearing? I'll just make a statement. I think it's going to be a great project when it's completed. That'll be a good addition to our community center.
Correct.
I'll close the public hearing, which leads us to Resolution 2020-11, approving all of the specifications, the bid from Firm Foundation of $179,001.25, however they came up with that, and right there within what they thought the bids would be. Is there a motion for Resolution 2020-11?
So moved.
Moved by Jen. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Tim. A roll call vote, please, for Resolution 2020-11.
Olson.
Aye.
Feldhacker.
Aye.
Kurth.
Aye.
Clucky.
Aye.
Bergsma.
Aye.
On a 5-0 roll call vote, Resolution 2020-11 passes. Agenda item number 8 is a continued discussion on the fiscal year 2021 general fund and utility budget. We've been discussing this for the last month and a half or so. The staff has presented a very lean budget. Council requested that the staff look at making some reductions to keep the levy the same as before, and could you give us some direction with that, please?
So after the direction by council to keep the levy down to what it was, we had to cut or remove $12,100 worth of expenditures. We were able to go through and actually remove $12,300 worth of expenditures, which we feel will accomplish the goal of not raising the levy. And some organizations will be impacted, the city will, we'll just have to make sure that, we watch things and go through. But all in all, with the cuts that were made, we feel that it's a very livable and doable budget.
Any comments from council, anything else we wish to direct the staff to do?
Thank you for going through that and just kind of letting us know throughout the whole way and just having that open conversation, and hopefully it works out for that.
But we do definitely know that all our council people and mayor do look at the budget. So.
Yep, good.
And the public has been able to access all of this on our website.
Right, in the council packets.
Council packets.
Once we pass the next resolution, then we'll have actual copies in the front office and things like that people can actually look at. We'll also publish what the summary of the budget in the paper before the next public hearing. So.
Okay. We'll move on then to Resolution 2020-12. This resolution adopts the final proposed draft budget for publication, ordering a notice for publication and public hearing, again for March the 25th, so we could have more comment at that point. Is there a motion for Resolution 2020-12?
So moved.
Moved by Travis,
I'll second.
seconded by Jen. Roll call vote, please, for Resolution 2020-12.
Olson.
Aye.
Clucky.
Aye.
Feldhacker.
Aye.
Bergsma.
Aye.
Kurth.
Aye.
On a 5-0 roll call vote, Resolution 2020-12 passes. Seems like we're resolving a lot as we turn our agenda over. We're at number 10, Resolution 2020-13. This would be a resolution setting time and a place for a hearing and publication and so forth for the South Circuit conversion. Can you give us an overview of that, please, Mike or Travis?
This will be to accept the bid and the contract and materials list for the south feeder line that we're doing for our electric project. So we need to set the hearing for the next meeting so that we can accept the bid and form a contract and things like that.
And it was kind of all part of the overall plan with the transmission line and all of that.
Correct, yep.
This bid opening is March 4th.
Pardon me?
The bid opening is March 4th.
Hopefully they're as good as bids as we've had in the past.
Yep.
Okay. Is there a motion for Resolution 2020-13?
So moved.
Moved by Rob. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Jen. A roll call vote then, please, for Resolution 2020-13.
Kurth.
Aye.
Feldhacker.
Aye.
Bergsma.
Aye.
Olson.
Aye.
Clucky.
Aye.
On a 5-0 roll call vote, Resolution 2020-13 passes. Agenda item number 11, a consent agenda for the Sunshine Foods for a renewal of a Class C beer permit, Class B wine permit, also from Golf Course for liquor license transfer. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Travis. Is there a second?
A second.
Seconded by Tim. All in favor of the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Passes 5-0. As per usual, our next regular city council meeting will be Wednesday, March the 11th. We'll have quite a number of items on there again. My thanks again to the Historical Society for being a part of our evening tonight. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved by Jen. Is there a second? Seconded by Tim. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Blessings. Thank you very much. We're adjourned.